Here.
Mr.
I'm here.
Mr. Santiago Rodriguez.
Okay.
So will not be with us tonight, and Mr. Nelson will not be with us.
Understood. With that being said, why don't we stand? We'll go follow the easier. We'll do an opening prayer. Somebody like to lead us in a word of prayer?
Father God, we come in front of you tonight with an open mind. We have for wisdom and we have for knowledge. And may this be a successful meeting tonight, Father. We pray in your name.
Thank you. Thank you, Kenny. With that being said, why don't we get pledge allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. Let us know if you can't hear us as well, because I forget this is on. Sometimes I speak too low, sometimes I speak too loud. So moving on to number 2, any additions, deletions, or substitutions to this agenda? I do have one. The deletion should be number 1. I believe that is off the board with some emails that I've seen today.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so the selling of property, the gentleman is no longer, he is taking his offer down. So, motion, just go ahead. Well, not a motion, just want to let you know, we'll take that off, so that won't be on it. We don't need a motion, right? Okay.
It will be amended.
So gotcha. So we'll amend that. Anything else? So we'll scratch A. Anything else that we want to add, delete, or substitute? Do you have anything?
I want to have the, change the start time from 7 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Start time of Citrus County meetings?
Yeah, the regular meeting, monthly meeting.
Alright. So we'll put that as A. The new A is adjust
The start time.
meeting start time. Good evening, come on in. Alright, we have that here for A. Anything else? Anything other than that? So with that being said, we're good with that adoption, right, Stephen?
Correct.
Gotcha. Moving forward to 2C, approval of regular and budget board meeting on July 23rd. See if we can get a motion on the floor. Alright, none being said, we're moving on. Number 3, do we have any public comments? I think we have any at this time. Okay, moving on. So moving into old and new business 4, that would be 4A. The new one would be adjust the meeting start time from 7 to 6 p.m. Mr. Moreno, you want the floor on that? You want to educate us with this?
Yes, I'd like to bring that up. The original idea was when a year ago was suggested that we give a chance to the community to come from work, do their dinner, take care of the family, and be here by 7 p.m. But keeping track of the attendance for the community, even myself, look at this tonight, this is only one person, really it's not, hasn't been effective for the start time of the 7 p.m. That's the reason I like to bring it down to 6 p.m.
Okay. Any comments before we vote on it? Mr. Cortez, anything before we vote on it? None being said. Okay, can we get a motion on the floor to adjust the start time for Central County meetings from 7 p.m. to 6 p.m.?
Yeah, I'd like to put that motion from 7 p.m. to 6 p.m.
Do I have a motion by Mr. Moreno? Do we have a second?
Second.
Do I have a second? All in favor? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Alright. Moving on to reports, since we don't have a district manager, does she have a report for us, or are you gonna speak on it, or how?
There's a report here for her.
was gonna give a,
Yeah,
the engineer's
for
report.
some reason, I don't know why it didn't make it in here, but we sent it. We reviewed and approved two electric permits. We attended the meeting with the Henry County grant for call number 12. Today, we got the conservation easement. I recorded that today. That I will get that to the water management district tomorrow. I have not submitted to the water management district. I got to report it today. It says here we're responding to the South Florida Water Management District for call number 12. We received that permit. That permit, I think it's so that clears the way for the Henry County grant to add that 12 pump into the reservoir.
The Henry County grant.
Yes.
Also, we're gonna be funding to do.
Peter kept over, well, so what we did with the Henry County grant is they're gonna do pump, they're gonna do the pump. We did not have money in there for the culverts. So they're just gonna do the pump, so the other grant is gonna give us the 13th pump into the reservoir. That's what we're on that right now.
And can we have something so we can present to our board? I think I was told exactly where it's gonna be at, but on a map, hey,
Yeah.
this is kind of the area that it's going to be in.
And I apologize, I should have gotten.
No, that's fine.
Sure, name and have something for tonight, but I'll do that.
And then how that whole little area, because it seems congested, but how that whole area, we foresee it working in the future.
If you got a, sure.
Keep going.
So, and I also told you, and I told the board, and the rest of everybody else, talked to Shane Parker, and within the next 3 weeks, they're going to get together and look at, drainage on Meeker.
Gotcha. And then the drainage also along Pine
Pine
Cone
Cone, right.
as well.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them. Jose, have they cleaned out any of the drainage along Pine Cone? The county as well? Anything else for you?
That's it.
Any questions for the engineer in his report?
I just a question, have we had a chance to work on like the scope for the roads that we're actually working on? Have we had a chance to work on the scope work for I think they can have quote for some vendors on, I forgot what street it was.
I have not.
The horse club?
Big horse club in Montreux or something like that.
I have seen those.
Something like that. So I think what he's asking, I could be wrong, so like on the last, we had a couple quotes, but they were not apples to apples. Because
I remember.
they didn't have anything to bid against or price against, so I think he's asking for a scope. So when we do put it out, for proposals, that we get apples to apples. Correct? And the only question I have, you said, mentioned a minute in the beginning, 2 electrical permits or something like that? What was that? I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Well, we approved those permits when they come in for, when they want to set the electrical poles for new services.
Understood, okay. That being said, we're moving on. Ian, treasurer's report, please.
The questions that you had last night, I emailed Becky, John, and Mike. The status of the current Ford Mill culvert grant. Becky said the grant is the one we have to pay upfront and then receive reimbursement for. That's the one I spoke to you about, that we don't have the money to pay out all at once if we do. That's the lower line of credit. Then I asked about the Caterpillar financial loan, and she said that's the loan for the grader we purchased, and there are 2 payments left, and it's a once-a-year payment.
So that means,
So I left that in the budget.
so does that mean we have one more after this one, Dina, or is that?
The last one was in, the way she wrote it is 2 payments left, so one already came out in May of 2025, so it'd be probably May of 26 and 27.
Gotcha. So then that will be off the books. Okay.
Third question I asked was about the carry forward amount. which I updated. I talked to John about that, and he called me and went over it.
Okay,
So it's kind of a guessing, but he said you take the fund balance, and then I added, which was like 1.69, almost 1.7 million, and added the surplus that we have so far, which is about 500,000, and came up with the 2.1, almost 2.2. Then the amount of the reserves, it's not all in US Bank. 804,000 is in there, and it accrues a higher interest rate, but the rest is in operating.
is that the one with first, go ahead.
Yeah, it's in First Bank and in US Century.
And those are constantly changing because of, it's the day-to-day, correct?
And they're based on the audit you had me look at.
Mm-hmm.
So the fund balance at the beginning of the budget year, October 1st, 2024, was 1.695 million.
Gotcha.
Out of that, 1 million of it is like assigned to things.
Yes, ma'am.
Like 250 for the engineer, 50,000 for equipment payments, about a little less than 800,000 for 3 months worth of operations if there was like a hurricane or some kind of natural disaster. So 1 million of that shouldn't really be touched, and that
Reserve.
changes based on the auditor report every year. So
Okay.
that number is based off the audit from last year.
Okay.
And then the last question was about the fund balance, where did his numbers come from, and that's where he explained it to me that it's this number from the audit plus what I think at the end of September, your deficit or surplus will be.
Should be.
Right now it's at 532, but you're not gonna have much more money coming in through
Correct.
September.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
will have more expenses, so I put in 500,000. I
Understood.
can lower that, or I wouldn't really increase it.
Understood.
So that's an estimate of 500,000 in additional expenses?
500,000 to make that prior year budget carry forward, that 2.1 million number, which then also, that contingency fund, it increased that.
Okay.
So the highlighted ones on the updated budget that I sent you, I took the money out of the resurfacing of paved roads, the 512. I brought that down from 200 to 125, put that extra 75,000 in the capital outlay, so that increased to 225.
For the road paving resurfacing.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
And then I went over and updated the wages. So the total of those yellow columns comes out to $1,320,600.
All of them together or just in that five?
All those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the 5, 6,
The
5.
5, 6, 5s, got it.
The 512s, those three come out to
Okay.
415.
Understood. So it's more realistic on the wages for this number that you have now highlighted. It's a more realistic number than, I think, that one, 800 yesterday, something like that.
I put the income account of permit income. I left 10,000 in miscellaneous, just in case there's other stuff. If we don't code anything to that, I can take it out for next year's budget. But I have permit income separated out, like we talked about last night.
Understood, I see it there.
Down in the expenses, 560, I have equipment rental. I put 15,000 in there.
I see that.
I took that out of the 505, the miscellaneous expense account.
Understood.
That one I zeroed out because miscellaneous expenses also would go down in the 990, the contingency. So the money that was in there increased equipment repairs, 585 a little bit, and it increased that personal development, the 626, instead of it being employee training,
Gotcha.
and it accounts for the equipment rental.
Understood.
And then I think that was all my notes from last night. Are there any questions?
Go ahead.
So on the capital outlay for the dump truck, does she have a quote for a dump truck?
That's just the number she told me, so I don't know if she has an actual.
See if there's anything in there, she got some printout, maybe it's in there.
I looked at the first two pages of this packet, and it seemed like those were the only things with prices on it.
Yeah,
And it was for a skid steer and a loader.
yeah. I just wanna make sure we're labeling stuff, properly, whatever, I mean, I don't have an issue, if we need it, but I just don't wanna, what I don't wanna do, Nina, is every year just, hey, just throw another 220 in there. You know what I mean? I wanna have a little
Specific.
science to it, if possible.
Well, if it doesn't get used, it carries over to the next year.
Yeah, no, where I'm getting at is I would like to be more, a little more strategic, the way we plan, versus just kind of throwing numbers out there and, you know, let's
Use it or lose it.
let's see if we need it or not, you know what I mean? Like, I think if we, and I think that's one of the things we talked about at one point, coming up with like a 5-year plan, you know, 5-year equipment plan, and that way it's kind of, you know, it's not like, oh, let's throw 220 on there in case we need it. No, let's make a plan, okay, we need to replace our excavator every X amount of years, so it needs to go on this bucket.
I think that would be part of maybe the equipment list she's working on, but I haven't seen it yet,
Yeah.
so I don't know if she's just putting
Yeah.
together all the equipment, or like how much it would be to replace it.
Yeah.
What did you say you wanted to rename 512.2? You don't want it to be resurfacing of paved road?
Well, it's not truly resurfacing paved roads, what you're doing is patching and repairing the paved roads.
Repair.
Because resurfacing is when they get in there and actually, they mill it down, and then you actually resurface it. What we're doing is patching and repairing paved roads.
I'll change that, so rebuilding of dirt roads can stay,
I
change
have no
the
problem.
second one to repair of paved roads, and then maintenance of paved roads.
Because when
And what's
somebody,
the difference
if a
of
per-
a repair and a maintenance of a paved road?
it depends how again, we're starting from a scratch base, it depends how you interpret it. And that's the gray areas we're trying to get out going forward is he like Supervisor Cortez said last night is, we wanna put it in buckets. If it's coming out of this one, we'll know in the future, everything, when it says maintenance
Well,
or
what
whatever.
kind of things would you be looking for in each one, because then I would
Which
have to run it by Becky so that she codes the invoices.
Which one, I'm sorry?
Repair of paved roads and maintenance of paved roads. So this cold patch, that's one of the
When
things I
you just
know.
we go with call patch.
Is that considered a repair or maintenance?
Again,
Or are both of these the same thing, and there should just be one account for it?
I would try to just put them both together,
you could,
maybe repair and maintenance.
you could,
Okay.
put repair and maintenance. But when you say resurfacing, because yesterday that number was, it was a pretty good number in there.
200.
Yeah. So I'm saying you're not gonna spend 200,000 on coal patch. And if you are spending 200,000 on coal patch, you need to go get checked, because you might as well literally resurface that
But
road.
that's all going together.
Correct.
Okay, well, I'm gonna combine those two and then combine the 125 and the 90.
Unless, and it's been a while since we've done it, because we did it here on Hunting Club before we repaired it, is they did resurface certain sections, a 10-foot section, 20-foot section, something like that. So it just depends how you interpret it, or how you use it. But like you said, I think that's not a bad idea. You can put it for repair, maintenance of roads, paved roads.
And then big drops will go
Yeah.
to the capital.
But I think we want a delineation between dirt road and our paved road.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you say road, to us, which one? You talking about the roads that have been milled? You talking about the dirt roads? You talking about the paved road? Which one?
Well, when she sends me stuff for dirt roads, it would go in the .1,
Gotcha.
and then anything for paved would go in the .2.
You probably just rename them both repair and maintenance, like dirt roads and repair and maintenance of asphalt or paved roads.
You're just trying to streamline it, make more, that we're all on the same page, we're all speaking the same language, so work. Be a little patient with us.
So I looked at the quote here, I see why she probably wants to keep the money, but I would like to get the capital outlay cleaned up, because she's got trucks in here, I think she did talk about trucks, so I would like to get it cleaned up where it reflects what she's actually looking at doing it. And then the way I would like to see it is she has it, her budget estimate in there, and then if we need to vote on it, we can vote on it.
Break it down.
I just think throwing a big stack at it like this is, you know, I think it should be a combination of, you know, you kind of assisting her as far as the financials if she needs to, but
Like
Kinda
having
like-
one spreadsheet that has it all on there, so you can kind of.
I mean, something that makes it easier for us if we need to approve on something, but, I would like to clean up the capital outlay, because I don't wanna, at least that's my thoughts on it.
And I did see something on trucks, so in this budget, where is that coming out of? If approved, where will it come out of? Because, the last few vehicles we bought, they weren't cheap ones, you understand what I'm saying? One was a maintenance, the other one was a flatbed, and it was used for pulling stuff as well, so, it can't be a small amount unless we're using certain vehicles to move certain things around. So I'd like to see where, if approved, what line item, capital item is that coming out of? Capital equipment, at 40, or what?
I'll ask her what those numbers came from and where she put trucks.
Because there's not much money here. In this,
Are there any trucks that need to
I
be
think,
replaced in the
I
next
think
year?
there's a few that do need to be replaced, because I think we were able to get the ones that we tried to last for as long as we could. That was like a mechanic truck, the maintenance truck. And there was another one that we used to haul some of this heavy equipment around, because it has to be a certain type of truck with a strong transmission to move all this heavy equipment around. So I just
I'll
don't,
go over that with her and I'll create a different capital outlay account
Yeah.
that's for vehicles.
because
So equipment will go in one, vehicles will go in another.
if I'm not mistaken, most even plain vehicles right now, about 40 trucks, 40,000 plus, right?
All once you have the 60, 70.
Yeah, so I don't know where is that money coming from? I don't see it here. That's, the reason why he's asking, I'm asking, I don't see it here, unless I'm looking at something different.
No, I'll ask her about it.
Same way with a skid steer. I don't see in our budget where that skid steer is coming from. 'Cause the only thing that I see here, you guys can help me, I see a dump truck.
That's it. And
I see
equipment.
proposed dump truck and I see equipment, but I think you put that on there.
Yeah,
That wasn't
well,
already
she told me
before.
about that one and then we just kind of went through numbers on the other, she didn't tell me what was in them. So I'll ask her, I'll add an account for dump trucks, we'll probably end up increasing equipment, cause these two that I saw there come out to about 300,000. So that line item would go up and that 1.9 million at the bottom would go down.
Yeah, because see, this skid steer is running about 140, 150. I definitely don't see it here. And in yesterday's column that I see here, that 800 column, okay, that 800 column is 50. 50 definitely can't provide, maybe it's a good down payment, but yeah. But I'm just saying that yesterday, if you use yesterday's number, you couldn't have got a skid steer with that. And you might have been able to pull one truck off.
And I think too, with maybe, I don't know, I don't wanna speak for Becky, but I think what she may be doing is just probably gathering everything and say, hey, these are all the things that I would like to get replaced. But if that's the case, I think what I would like to see is a priority list. And for her to kind of prioritize, you know, maybe put everything on the list and give us a priority, and then we decide we wanna approve 5, 6, 7, all, you know what I mean? Just based on the priorities. Cause I would like to have a good budget where we actually approve what's actually on the capital outlay. I mean, I'm not too worried about like the little small stuff, like the trailer and stuff, cause that's small stuff, but a truck, I would like for the budget to say, you know, mechanic truck, supervisor truck, whatever it is, you know? Cause it is a big chunk. That way, if someone is ever looking at this, they can kind of see the same thing we're looking at, you know?
Let me ask something. Jose or Kenya, do you guys know, in reference, I see the zero turn here, do you know this zero turn, is this for Central County, the road maintenance, clubhouse, do we know? So it's actually two? It's another question. I'm not against it, but I don't see it here. I don't see it here.
I took over those with Becky.
Okay, yeah, this is not gonna be, yeah, there you go. This is not a Jeep truck. I see the full cab. Crew cab, right? Okay. And then also board, I don't know if you guys, with vehicles, they're not cheap, but all of them have their flaws right now. And they're not cheap ones. And I think what we have some, the older ones are Ford, the newer ones have been Chevy, right?
Yeah.
Anything else? Okay.
That road paving and resurfacing capital outlay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what 225 would get, because I think those quotes that the original, or the first quote, well, I think it was, one of them was like 270,
Something like that. Something a mile, forget something.
I don't know if we can chop somewhere from somewhere else, because if we're gonna put something on it, we might as well make it something that actually makes sense, if it's a road, you know, a full road or whatever it is.
Okay, I'll go over that one with her too when she comes back.
Yeah, if we can kind of, see if you guys can square that up and maybe take 10 off the uniform, because I'm not, at least me, this is my opinion, I'm not sold on spending 10 grand right now just to update a new logo on the uniforms. I'd rather see it go on asphalt than,
All day on infrastructure.
um,
Infrastructure is critical.
I mean, especially right now, I think, you know, I was looking at our expenses, I think so far we spent like 6 or 8 grand on uniforms. So I don't see the need to increase it another 10 grand when we can throw it on, you know, infrastructure like the jail said.
And then also, I guess October 1st we'll be hitting it with the new system, new bookkeeping, we'll hit it. So after, say for instance, October 30th for our next meeting, you'll give us a percentage breakdown, okay, we use,
It would be
4%,
November's meeting.
right.
And then we have
Gotcha.
October's financial.
understand. So you'll be able to say, okay, yeah, we'll be a month behind, so you'll be able to say, hey, by the way, this month, we're at 5%, 10% of our budget, whatever, okay. Good deal.
And then my last one on the budget, on the wages, we go over like even that open position that we have and it's included in there?
Mhm.
It is? Okay. What was the percentage that we used for OT on the hourly employees?
OT and wages were just combined, they only have 2 months of wages. And then figured out for the rest of the year with increase.
Okay.
But the payroll report will show like an overtime breakdown.
Yeah. Just want to get as close as possible to that number. I just want to make sure we're, you know, it's something realistic that we're looking at.
Anything else on the board?
The only other one that catches my attention is supplies. I see we dropped it 5 grand. Is that because of actuals right now?
Because of actuals and coding better. So stuff that doesn't belong in there that actually should be like a repair or something for a repair, or it probably belongs somewhere else.
You know, what is our net pay?
For
Vendors.
employees.
No, vendor, net, our net,
Um,
for invoices that come in?
some are 20, some are 30. They all have different ones. I haven't seen anything over 30 yet. And I don't think I've seen anything under 15. I don't think that anybody has been like due under 10.
That's actually pretty good. Most cities and towns don't operate that way.
What about the street signs? I didn't see any actuals, but we added 10 grand to next year's budget.
That is for
Yeah, I see that our current one, we budgeted 20, but I didn't see anything on the actual, that's why I was wondering what we
I
were.
don't think any signs have been put up yet.
Okay.
She hasn't done anything.
And then, where do we, do you know, maybe you don't, but where do we code, like safety supplies and stuff like that, like gloves and a lot of those things? Just
Those would
curious.
either be, if it's a contract from Cintas, she codes it to contract services. If it's something she buys like at Office Depot or Amazon, it would get coded to supplies and then under the category of like rec, water control or government.
So nothing like PPE, personal protection
I
equipment?
haven't seen anything yet.
We don't buy PPE?
We should.
That would be under 556, contract services.
And if they don't, they probably need like a PPE bag.
That's
So
where like the
they can go in that
machine
duffel
goes.
bag and pull out their safety equipment.
Yeah. No, I think that we had some, I was just kind of
That
wondering.
would be wise if we don't,
I was just wondering what we had in there, because it's,
for sure.
yeah.
You gotta hit it, for sure.
Okay.
You know, one thing I'd like to see probably here going forward, I know it's probably not a norm around here, but it is a norm in other places, is to get quotes. Even sometimes on parts, unless it's OEM, but a lot of times, every corporation usually does that, instead of just going with one. One thing I definitely wanna shop around, spoke about it last night, I want to get quotes on Shell Rock because it is quite expensive. We spend quite a bit of money, and I'm pretty sure there's some vendors out there that would love to.
Most places usually set like a dollar amount, so if it's over $5,000, you'll want her to get 3 quotes. Or 10,000, whatever your dollar amount that you set is. So what dollar amount would you
But
want?
right now, we have that, but I'm just saying, just best management practices, not to go, so for instance, if I did give you an amount, well, Mr. Mata, I bought this and it's under the amount, it's $4,999.99. I'm under your 5,000, let's keep it moving. I wanna be a little bit better than that. I just wanna make sure that we're getting,
I just wonder
we're looking,
I
how
think
was
what,
that as far as for Becky?
I think what he's saying is like, for example, just the dirt that he's talking about, maybe we quoted it back 300 years ago, but ever since then, we just continue to buy from the same vendor every time.
Not seeing it cheaper
Yeah,
somewhere else.
and I think that's what because there's a lot of stuff that we buy repetitive, and even stuff that we don't buy repetitive, but if it's a $5 item, you know,
I'll
like,
let her know.
it's no different than the capital stuff right here.
then it might be better off going to Granger instead of Uline, or, just wanna make sure that we're getting the most bang for the buck.
Yeah.
Because obviously we don't have tons of money here. Just want to make sure that we have it. And you're absolutely correct that that does take time.
Well, let everyone know. I'll do that with her and then, or I'll let her know about that and then I'll help her with the spreadsheet when she has equipment, putting together a priority list and quoting them, so it's easier than a step.
Anything else, board?
Yeah, no, I think once we get our scope on the road, we can probably, come up with a number that we can put in there. I know we have to approve this next meeting, but.
And the other thing, if I can piggyback on what you're saying as well, Steve, I'd love for us, we're gonna have to probably update our master plan, but I'd like for us to demonstrate, not just to us, but to the community that, hey, we're following the master plan, we put money aside, because we don't wanna have to put tons of money aside every year to tackle these roads, but hey, we have it under control now, we're meeting our master plan, now we can divert this money that used to go over here, go somewhere else, or we can pocket it in the bank, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, have a plan. Hey, we have a 10-year plan, we know we're gonna have to spend this safely for 10 years until we get these roads under control or emergency pop up. A lot of people say, hey, why are you doing this? Because we did take on this challenge a few years back. I think it's helped save some of our infrastructure here, but there's still tons of work to be done, especially with the the amount of people moving in and the amount of big trucks I see coming in and out, so I know our infrastructure's taking a beating on that. Anything else? From treasurer?
No.
That being said, thank you for that. Moving on, Stephen, you ready for the attorney's report?
It's mostly housekeeping stuff, but just, for your information, I'm working on an RFP. John told me, I feel like before last week or right after last week, to do an RFP, that's entirely on me.
Okay.
And then he asked me, apparently this Mysterio farming operation, this has happened before.
Yes, sir.
He just told me to find really the original complaint we did, and again, like, since they're doing it again. So
Yes, sir.
I just haven't, and we have to, I'll ask actually if I can.
Yes, sir.
If we did it, we
Yeah.
had it scanned in somewhere.
Yeah, it was in the previous administration, it happened under Emilio's watch before. Probably a couple of times it's happened, but yes, sir. We have some reports that, before her tenure here.
Okay, so you'll,
It's been a continuation.
I'll prepare a letter and he'll make it angry and send it out to me.
Okay.
That's it, that's all.
Have you guys heard anything about the property, the common deal?
No, so I think John and I have done a better job than they have of following up. So, for example, we asked their attorney, let's say in May, so, where are you at? In particular, whether there was a demand, we haven't received them. So, if we do, then we'll probably reach out to you individually, because we're in pre-litigation. But,
Sure.
No, that we haven't heard anything.
Anybody else have any questions for the attorney or the report? So. I'm good. Now moving on, our board. Mr. Moreno, you want to speak on anything?
I do. 298. I talked about 2 months ago about putting money aside to get to the figure that we need to start, getting, out of the 298. And I'm just gonna take, 3 to 5 years, for that. But if we don't start putting that money away now, if you look at the budget right now, we're scrambling money.
Yes, sir.
To be, on the good side. So, when we should put this out, I'm looking for idea, the amount of money, at one point, about a year ago, we talked about $250,000 roughly,
I would say that's still right.
okay? So, come out with a formula, to get that money,
Over a few years?
we need to first of all, find a target date, or year, it's gonna be 3 or 5 years, we need to figure that out first. And then how much money we're gonna have to collect, taxes or whatever be the case.
Sure.
To start, put that aside on the budget especially, and don't touch that money, and into that goal. That's, and I will be preaching down since I sit on this chair about 3.5 years ago.
You have.
We need to, and we need to get out of where we in, Maduro, because if you see the construction is going on here, and the money we're getting for Henry County, it doesn't balance.
So, if you don't mind me piggyback on what you're talking about, Stephen, do you, in your opinion, sorry about the thank you. In your opinion, should we address the community in workshops and stuff, what we're trying to do ahead of time before we start, hey, by the way, we're starting to charge you this amount for this. I don't know if we need community buy-in at all as a board, probably not. I think it would be a good thing to do.
So you already represent the community, so I don't think you have to have, for example, a workshop. What you might do is, and I'll ask John, whether or not, because I think we've mentioned this several times, Mason Yeager, I don't think specializes in this.
Sure.
We have a department that does it, so we would be outsourcing.
Makes sense.
Why not ask John to reach out to one of the firms who does specialize in it and have them come in and present it? Because they're gonna tell you right away how much it is. Among other things, they have to cover their fees.
Sure.
So they're gonna say how much you should be putting away for it. They also might say, the thing that I've heard, there's another mechanism for it, there's two, there's collecting revenues for it,
Sure.
than simply an additional tax, small incremental tax contribution. They might want to donate heavily to it. All right, well, that's a specialty. So let me just ask John if he doesn't want to invite somebody to come in and do it. You might get a response from whoever the more competent firms are, don't bother, or don't do it yet, wait another 2 years, wait until the administration is different. So I'd be very interested to hear what their take is on it.
Yes.
But,
So put our feelers out.
exactly, before we do a workshop, so because then what are you gonna get? I mean, it seems to me that the community would be extremely happy with that outcome. They've heard it, I mean, how many times have we brought it up?
Yes, sir.
It's an ongoing item. It's
Correct.
been on my report up and down, over the years.
And it's just a matter of time.
That's exactly
I
what it is.
like that idea, because I think right now, we're just shooting with our eyes closed right now. We don't know where we wanna go. I mean, we have an idea, but we don't know if we wanna try to go to this route with this, type of district, or go to a town, or go to this, or go to that. And I think if we have an idea, someone that actually, because I mean, like you said, there's probably companies out there, and they're probably interested in our business. If we say, hey, this is what we wanna do, we need a little feedback though, so we can kind of start collecting the tax revenue to start prepping for it. So that might be a better alternative. I think if we can kind of start maybe talking about that now, I don't know if you have any contact, someone that'd be willing to come in and talk to us, and then maybe at the landowners meeting, if we wanna start bringing it up then.
Real nice, very good. That way it's one meeting, one shot. Everybody's on notice.
Wise.
There's an election around it, so people definitely show up.
And then we have something to kind of present to the community, or speak about, maybe if we can make it.
Make it that big, day of the election,
Maybe bring a person in there, actually.
So now it has a date to it. This is it.
So, I mean-
Now I know.
We need to move forward. Like I said, 3.5 years here, sitting on the chair, and we're still, at square one, and we need to get out of the box and move forward with to get out of the 298.
And there's another, I think we've talked about this before, there's another flavor to it, which is to upgrade by seeking out fire services and other, it's that this notion of a special district, some version of it is just fire. I keep hearing about that. Sure, every time Mr. Santiago's here, it comes up as a sensitive issue, that they don't have their own fire. Okay, well, that's a point of entry, that's a path to greater autonomy, in my view. So don't be surprised if what you hear is that is what you should be going for. That incorporation might never happen, right? But that a special district on steroids is something that you might be able to get to. So I like the idea.
Well, if you take the Lehigh, what, they just been a village, what, 1.5 to 2 years now?
I think it's a development district right now.
So, I mean,
Right. The CDD.
that'd be a good example, or La Sahacha is another one.
Yeah. Lots of
Okay.
she grows.
That we, I mean, we can look into those two locations to see how long it took them to get out, and how much money, and who they talked to get that, to get that push out of the way. So, well, if we don't start moving toward that, I mean, we're gonna be sitting here again, year in and year out, talking about, scramble money for rent left, and like you say, we represent the community. It's very hard to get them over here, I mean, on the regular meeting, so we need to start pushing hard on that.
I like it.
The other things for those, I might be able to.
Wise.
Very happy with that.
Okay.
Wise. Okay. Thank you.
Anything else?
John?
All right, thank you, Mr. Moreno. Cortez, you have the floor?
I just got a few things. I don't know, maybe I should speak to you about it, Kenya. Maybe you can relay the message. We're supposed to have a current asset updated list submitted. Do you know if Becky's done with that? Last time we spoke, she said she was almost done with it.
That was the requirement with the audit.
Yeah, I think the auditor said that it was kind of something we had to get done this year to avoid being red flags
Correct.
on certain things with the state.
I will ask her about it.
Okay. And then the last one, if you can just relay the message as well, I would like to see our update on open permits. I think she was gonna clean that list up as well.
So we did just do 2021, so I am trying to go back, and just take a little bit, because I need to make sure that whatever permit is expired, it's not the new owner
Yeah, if you can bring it up, or Becky bring an update next month, I just wanna see an update of where we're at,
Okay, I can, once I have the 2021,
appreciate it. I think that's all I have, the other, well, one more thing. One thing I noticed, Dean, I don't know if maybe you can relay the message with Becky about this, or I mean, I can always call her, but if you guys work on a list on all this equipment, I was just kind of glancing through it, and it may make sense to do a combination of capital and also, financing, because I mean, looking at it, I would strongly advise against Kubota, but Kubota's got 48 months, 0.99 on the skid steer. John Deere's got 0% APR on the skid steer, 48 months. So maybe, I don't know if you guys, if Becky can kind of put that on that spreadsheet as well, so it'll make it easier for us to, you know,
So
determine
price to buy it outright and then with the finance.
if there's any special offers out there. Yeah, because I'm looking at it, looks like a lot of people are trying to sell equipment right now for real cheap, so. Just kind of glancing at it, there's a lot of offers out there, so. That's pretty much it.
Alright, thank you. And then the only thing, just want to piggyback on Dino, what you said, is, board, we're gonna have to do something about this grant, because in order for this grant to execute properly and for stuff to continue to go, we have to have that money in reserve, or we have to figure out a way to pay this contractor and all the other expenses for this. Not the 1.6, but the 4 mil, correct? How long do you think that project will last? From
6, 9 months.
from notice to proceed, 6 to 9 months.
What's our options on that, Steve, as far as, I mean, is it just trying to find a loan for that cash, or
Absolutely.
any other options that we have?
Yeah, no, you have to do either private financing, that's scary, or maybe just seek an extension or some sort of concession from the grantor, see what we can do with that. But again, Mason Deere doesn't do public finance, so I have to ask, maybe we'll just steal an idea from City of Okeechobee or one of our other municipalities who does
Yes.
the OUA as to where we can find funding, but man, every time we come up against this, it's the same issue. One, oh, you missed the window. Two, your proposed projects are not quite ready yet, because we haven't spent money to make money. We haven't invested enough money in order to fully flesh out the project. Those are the two things that immediately come up in no particular order. So, I mean, we'll talk to John about it. We need him.
I don't think we would need the full 4 million, I think it's just that
Well,
buffer to.
It's already come down, some of that, it's no longer a 4 million project.
Yeah.
There's some money that's already come down. The county's already taken some funds from it, this is already, so it's not a true difference of 4 million, it's probably like a 3 point, I would look at 3.2, 3.3, somewhere there, that we probably need to look to make sure that this is completed from credit grade.
But what I'm saying is that we probably won't need the full amount, we just need something that kind of keeps us going, so we pay out, and then we get our, grant, and then we kind of.
We're still waiting on that 60, bro, to come back in.
Well,
We still waiting on 60.
and that's what scares me,
Oh,
because
sure.
then we would end up financing the whole thing ourselves, and.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, so that's the issue, is whether it has to be that, really, in order to make, say, progress payments, I'm using that term loosely, we don't have to find our own financing to make those payments, right? Because since it's generally speaking, after the fact, full reimbursement.
Yeah.
Or, I think there's other types. I could have sworn this grant had.
Not like a loan,
initial
but like,
contribution.
yeah, like a line of credit, something like a line of
Line
credit.
is a good example.
Yeah.
And then, you know.
That'd be the way, that'd be the
He
way.
knows better than I do how much of district assets we can actually commit to that. There may be a pretty hard rule about that.
Okay.
About our ability to do that.
And more of these grant administrators may have a line or something like that.
So this is not the older one, right? I always forget which one.
This one, no, this one's the big one, this is the big one, this is the one with us.
I'll make it there as well.
Yeah, this is us, this is ours.
With the administrator. All right, so. it's another-
Other than that, that's all I have. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Meeting is adjourned. Let that play so I can see it.